Konnichiwa Gaijin, and welcome to the Japanese version of the Week 3 preview of the Jugs and Nugs League. Why Japanese? Because everyone got the A-bomb dropped on them last week, just like Nagasaki and Hiroshima were all wrapped into one. The first bomb was dropped by JJ right on top of Joe, 118.86. Got some highlights of this one, so let's go to some clips. Let's check out how well Joe's team did. First clip is from Greg Lewis. Next clip is from Ron Curry. Then we got Dante Rosario, Adam Vinatieri, and the Colts defense. Our second bomb was dropped by Mick right on top of Sean's head, 158-78. Let's get to some of those highlights from Sean's team. Let's have a look at Larry Johnson. How about Jericho Cotchery? Next up is Shane Graham. And finally, Heath Miller. If there was an actual game this week, it would have to be Scott beating Ed 120-92. We got some highlights of this one, though. Let's check out some of Ed's players. Let's look at some of Ed's receivers. First, we got Ted Ginn. Next, we got Randy Moss. And finally, David Martin. The biggest bomb of the week was delivered by yours truly to the commissioner, 141-42. I think this highlight pretty much says it all. And now in slow motion. Alright, now right here you can see Kurt Warner's got 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. Brian Westbrook has just scored 3 touchdowns. Oh, Chris Johnson just got 100 yards. I got a tight end that's actually productive. My defense just scored a touchdown, and I got a kicker that's actually getting over 10 points. Dave dropped Fat Man on John, 118-67. Let's take a look at some of John's highlights. Here we have Michael Turner dropping a couple passes, and then we got Marvin Harrison dropping a few, and just for good measure, Vernon Davis doesn't catch any. And finally, Tommy dropped Little Boy on Darrow, 81-47. Although not the widest margin of victory Tommy's ever had, Tommy did try to rub it literally in Darrell's face. Well, last week didn't go so well. That'll teach me to pick the teams with the dirtiest names and just pick the teams that are going to win. First up, Douches and Charlene. Going with Charlene on this one because Joe needs to find people from other teams other than Carolina and Indianapolis. Next game is Excellence and the Dongs. Well, Darryl, I picked you twice so far this year. Third time's got to be the charm, right? You're going to bust out this week for me. And if you don't bust out, I'm going to predict about 50 trades from you next week. Unfortunately, the only week I get to say this, tits and ass. Scooter's going to win big. Bank on it. Ball bags and creamy goodness. Chris, my friend, you're in a world of shit. Advantage, ball bags. Manginas and squeds. This one's really close, but I have to go with Ed, because he's just got the better picture on the graphic you just saw. And finally, Mick and Frisky. Well, duh, me. Well, that's all for this week, so until next week, as the Japanese say, sayonara, dickhead.